Kamala Harris is hoping to be the first IPVP. That's the first identity politics vice president. Of course, she's not the first to be a candidate in this role. The Democrats tried it back in the 80s with Geraldine Ferraro. The Republicans tried it in 2008 with Sarah Palin, and now the Democrats are back at it with Kamala. They didn't choose Senator Harris because she's the best choice. They chose her because they think she is the best candidate for someone who has darker skin and a vagina. But here's the thing. It didn't work for Walter Mondale back in 1984, and it didn't work for John McCain in 2008. And let's not forget how the Democrat Party screwed Bernie Sanders in 2016 and made Hillary the first female identity politics presidential candidate. And that didn't work out either. So I doubt it will work for Joe Biden. It's completely obvious that Harris was only chosen to appeal to women and minorities, and the voters who aren't partisan lever pullers really don't care. I remember when John McCain announced Sarah Palin as his VP pick. Some conservatives were really happy because they thought that would inspire women who don't normally vote Republican to jump on board. However, Obama won the female vote by a bigger margin in 2008 than Hillary did in 2016. It seems her identity didn't make much of a difference. Think about it. A woman VP candidate with John McCain, a war hero, couldn't pull more women away from Obama than Trump, a billionaire playboy, pulled away from Hillary Clinton. It really speaks to how little we care about someone's race or genitalia. We care more about who they are as a candidate and what they've done as a politician. And that's the ultimate problem with Harris. She has baggage. She had an affair with a married man who was 30 years her elder to advance her career. She trashed Justice Brett Kavanaugh over the weakest of sexual assault allegations. Then she said that she believes the accusers who say Biden assaulted them, but now she's okay with being his IPVP. She bragged about smoking weed when her record as a prosecutor in San Francisco was locking people up for that very thing. You see, she's the kind of VP you get when you use someone's sex and skin color as a deciding factor on who they are and what kind of contribution they can add to the team. By locking himself into choosing a woman of color, it meant that Biden had to ignore more than 80% of the other potential picks. That's not a very good way to get the best possible candidate. And what it really means is that Kamala's sex and skin color are more important factors than who she is as a person. And it means that the Democrat Party believes voters care more about identity than they do substance. But if history is any lesson, a candidate's identity doesn't look to be that big of a factor. The leftists who vote blue no matter what will say she's a historic candidate, that it's a dream come true, and that she's brilliant, which is what leftist activist Sean King tweeted when Harris was announced as Biden's VP pick. Quote, "That's it for me. I am incredibly proud to see a brilliant black woman and HBCU grad chosen as a vice presidential nominee. I've done political work my whole life. It's rarely things dreams are made of. Kamala Harris is the most progressive VP nominee in American history." Now, check out what he tweeted back in 2018. Quote, "I will be frank and tell you two Democrats that I am 99% sure I won't be supporting, primarily because of their dismal history on criminal justice reform over the course of their entire careers. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They both helped build and advance mass incarceration." These two tweets show us exactly how the partisan left are going to spin this election. Harris and Biden's pasts no longer matter. And it doesn't matter that criminal justice reform was championed by the current president. They're still going to call him a racist as they brag about their VP candidate who was chosen in the most sexist and racist way possible. One's record or their talents are no longer taken into consideration for who Democrats want to have leading our country. The voters spoke in the primaries and they did not like Senator Harris. But since the party ranked someone's skin color and number of Y chromosomes so high, they weren't allowed to find a better choice. The far left have now asserted their dominance over the Democrat Party. And while most Democrats will vote for their party in November, some are starting to step away. Most Democrats aren't down with the violent rioting over claims of injustice. Most Democrats don't want to defund the police. And most Democrats don't care what the sex and skin color of the vice presidential nominee is. If anything, they learned from Obama's tenure that his identity as a black man did not make their lives any better. Maybe you remember this woman from back in 2008.
Peggy Joseph took her daughter out of school early Wednesday for this. Her emotions ran high following Obama's speech.
It was the most memorable time of my life. It was a touching moment because I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage. You know, if I help him, he's going to help me.
Obama's identity meant that she was no longer going to have to worry about putting gas in her car and paying her mortgage. I wonder how that worked out for her. Well, in 2014, Joel Gilbert caught up with her for his documentary titled There's No Place Like Utopia. It seems she had a change of heart.
I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage.
Did Obama pay for your mortgage? And did he pay for your gas?
Absolutely not. Mortgage got worse and prices got higher. During that time, we needed a change, but a change for the better, not for the worse. I started getting a little bit more educated about politics and reading more. What I learned is never trust the wizard. It's within ourselves to have the determination, the courage, and the brains to bring us to our destiny.
The simple truth is, someone's identity is a meaningless metric. It has no bearing on whether a person is qualified for a job or not. And like Peggy Joseph found out during Obama's presidency, his identity as a black man did not make her life any better. Choosing a VP candidate on the basis of their sex and race is not only foolish, especially when most people think Biden is losing his mind, but it's blatantly sexist and racist. And I think Democrats are going to be shocked again when they wake up on November 4th. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.